Three, two, one, action. Welcome back to As Seen on Screen. We are back for our 21st and a half episode, we're going to call this, because this is just a short little add-on to last week's episode, but we're happy you're here. I'm Nicole.
And I'm Gracie, and you can find us wherever you get your podcasts on Spotify and YouTube.
Yes, we are your source for entertainment news, reviews, interviews, and conversations. But today, we're bringing you a special little review of Despicable Me 4. We want to start off by saying thank you to the Taro Group for giving us this opportunity to review the film. Last week on September 24th, the DVD version of this film came out. You can get it in Blu-ray or the 4K Ultra HD. It comes with over 60 minutes of bonus features. So we're going to be today talking about the movie a little bit and also reviewing some of the bonus features that are on this DVD because they are a lot of fun. So let's jump right into it.
I'm gonna let Nicole do the recap for the actual movie because girl has seen it, I think, 3 times now. And I feel like I cannot compete with her knowledge of this film. So, Nicole, give us a recap.
Yes, so if you haven't seen it, Despicable Me 4 came out in theaters this past summer on July 3rd. So it was out in theaters. This fourth film follows, of course, the family of Gru and Lucy and the three daughters as Gru goes to his reunion for his villain school. And there he reconnects with Maxime, someone who's become a very high-level villain in their whole world of villains here. And what Maxime doesn't know is Gru is there undercover for the Anti-Villain League trying to bust him. So he's presented with an award, Maxime, and then Gru busts on stage to take him down, and the Anti-Villain League comes in, and everything is well and good again in the world of humanity and Despicable Me world. But what happens is Maxine breaks out of the Anti-Villain League's prison and starts to go after Gru and his family. So the AVL comes and they have to take Gru and Lucy and the girls out to a safe house hours away. So they have to move away from their home, everything the girls have known, and they're placed in this new neighborhood of suburbia. And the film just kind of revolves around navigating this new chapter of their lives, figuring out what this means for them. We meet some new characters in this film. So you have Joey King playing Poppy, who is the neighbor at their safe house, and we find out that she actually wants to become a villain herself. So her and Gru kind of ignite this little friendship over villainry. Um, but yeah, that is what the film revolves around. I think it's a fun one, honestly. I like this new installment for the franchise. I think it was exciting to see some of the characters step into new roles in this film and kind of take it outside the environment we're used to seeing it in. I think I reviewed this back when I actually watched it in theaters for the first time early July. So this is the second review, but I'll reiterate that I loved it. I thought it was very cute.
I feel like you're missing the most important part here. Gru has a son.
No. Yes, that is true.
Gru and Lucy had a kid together. They finally have a little baby boy, but sadly, the baby boy does not. He's not the biggest fan of Gru, but he loves Lucy. So we get to see how that relationship grows as well during everything else Nicole just said.
And we also see that I forgot the minions as well. The minions have their
How can
own.
you forget the minions?
So basically, the minions have their own mayhem as usual going on in this film. They can't go to the safe house with Gru, so the AVL takes them back to their headquarters and they actually try this new serum on them to basically make them these big super minions. So they're trying out this serum to see if they can use them as a tactic as well, and new kind of superhero-esque minions to help them fight crime. And of course, that doesn't really go as planned as it usually doesn't with minions. So those are all of the different aspects of the film. You have, like Gracie said, the son. You have the three girls, Gru and Lucy, and the minions, and Poppy and Maxime. So lots of
Lots of
people to
new
meet in this
characters.
film. Lots going on in basically an hour and a half this film is. So a
That's
copy of
the basis of the
yeah.
film, but this lovely physical copy of the film that Nicole's holding does have a bunch of bonus features. I believe up to 60 minutes of bonus features.
Yeah, just over an hour.
Comes with a few mini movies. It shows some scenes that didn't make the final cut and some behind the scenes of the cast and crew recording and making this fourth installment. And I think my favorite part was either the one short about the birthday, which reminded me a lot of Happy Death Day, but with minions.
That or Groundhog Day, both of them. It's like a
Both very
mix.
valid.
Yeah.
If we're going for the happier version, probably Groundhog Day. But um, did love that. I always love seeing the chaos that the minions have, but I also love seeing the behind the scenes of them recording their characters because, as a lot of them pointed out, not everybody thought there was going to be 4 films in this franchise. We kind of thought it was going to be a one and done. But it's grown to be this globally loved thing, and it's so cool to see how not only the characters and the people that play them have grown, but also the animation has grown so much. Like the comparison from the first movie to this fourth film is crazy, and I can't wait to see what they do with the possible fifth. I know you're hoping for that. So, what was your favorite in the extended cut?
I think my favorite was the other mini movie. So Gracie mentioned was Benny's Birthday is the one of the mini movies in that one. There's the second one, also Game Over and Over. So basically, it starts off you see a few of the minions sitting on the couch, they're playing a video game, and then one of them throws a controller, and the controller breaks. And so the minion that picks it up, he looks over at Gru's lab, pointing as if it's actually behind me. He goes over to Gru's lab, with a big sign that says "No minions allowed," basically. And he goes in and he sees the big controller. So he picks up the controller, and as he starts fidgeting with it, it actually starts controlling one of the other minions in the room, like he is the character in this video game and he's holding the remote control. So they go outside, and it's very much Mario vibes. Like I felt like I was
Yeah,
playing,
Super Mario Bros.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think of the 3D world, my little DS.
Yeah.
Um, so it was basically just like that all down the street, and he's just fighting different like little obstacles and people and things like that that are in his way. So I actually thought that was kind of cool of them to do. I think that was funny. I really liked, like you said, the deleted scenes are always funny to see. Deleted scenes in any movie are very interesting because it's interesting to see what they didn't feel needed to make the final cut, and then to see hear what other people are like, no, that should have been in the movie, or this
Yeah.
shouldn't have been. We won't spoil it for you, but you'd have to go watch those yourself. And like Gracie said, kind of to reiterate a little bit of what she said. I think it's interesting too to hear from the cast, and you hear from them multiple times. You see them recording their lines, like Gracie said, and you hear what their thoughts on are the movie and their characters and where their characters have evolved over the years. And I think it's just fun to see their perspective on the character, especially with animation. It's so interesting because they're not physically being that person, they're just voice acting for them. So I always like to hear in animation what they feel towards their character since they're not putting as much physically of themselves into the character. So it's cool to see what they're bringing to the table and to the character, through the voice acting and through what the other people on the team are able to do. Because it's true, something they mentioned that when you're doing animation, they're not all in the same room. They're not usually recording together. Like they probably barely see each other on set. So, I think it's a good point to bring up how they very seamlessly blend that in, and you would never know that, obviously, watching the movie. Um, so I think those are all very interesting points, but this was a fun, definitely a fun watch. It's cool to see it. But like Gracie said, they're the two mini movies, deleted scenes, despicable dialogue, meet the cast, making of Mega Minion Mayhem, Rogues Gallery, and how to draw, which was cool because as someone who can't draw, I was trying to
Neither
like
of
trace
us.
it. We were trying to trace it along with it, and it was just not, no,
It works for some people, not for us.
not us.
Not us.
But you can pick up your own copy of Despicable Me 4 today in stores. They are out now. You can get the Blu-ray version or the 4K Ultra HD. But we want to say thank you again to the Taro Group for giving us this opportunity, and to thank everyone who entered our giveaway contest as well last week for some of these copies of the DVD. It was fun, and we hope we can
Yes.
do something like this soon again.
And just so everybody knows, winners have been contacted by the official As Seen on Screen Instagram account. So if anybody else sends you DM, it's not us. The only account you'll hear from is As Seen on Screen on Instagram. So make sure to check your DMs if you entered the giveaway.
Well, thank you for tuning in to this quick little short part 2 version to episode 21 of As Seen on Screen, and we'll be back on Thursday with our regular show as well. I'm
Yeah,
Nicole.
I'm Gracie.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.